Welcome to this deep dive. Today we're looking at something I think many of us feel this sense that the way we act, the choices we make, they create echoes in our lives.
Hmm.
We're going to explore this idea of karmic debts, almost like an invisible account, where our actions build up consequences, maybe shaping the patterns and even the struggles we face.
It's a really profound way to think about the flow of our lives, isn't it? This notion of an inherent balancing act,
Yeah.
where what we send out seems to return in some form. It resonates deeply, I find.
Yeah.
And it's not simply about tallying good and bad deeds, like you said. It's understanding a much more intricate web of cause and effect.
Exactly. And while this idea has been around for centuries in ancient wisdom, it's also fascinating how it kind of mirrors what we observe in our own lives today.
Right.
Those recurring challenges, the things we can't seem to shake. And this isn't about some external force punishing or rewarding us, is it?
No, not in the way it's often portrayed.
So our aim in this deep dive is really to understand how these patterns take hold and maybe more importantly, how we can navigate them towards greater understanding and perhaps even transform them.
Precisely. It's about looking beneath the surface, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Recognizing the subtle energies that our actions, even our intentions, set in motion,
Mm-hmm.
and how those energies then shape our experiences.
Okay, so let's dive into this idea of an invisible ledger. The Buddhist understanding of karma, it's often simplified, but you mentioned it's really about an energetic exchange. Could you help us unpack what that truly means for us?
Well, the key thing to grasp here, I think, is that every action, even every thought, carries an energy. Not a physical currency, obviously, but it's like a vibrational imprint.
An imprint, okay.
And this energy doesn't just poof, disappear. It creates a ripple effect. Think of dropping a stone in a still pond.
Right.
Those ripples, carrying the nature of that initial action, they eventually return. They move outwards, but they also come back, creating a sense of equilibrium, a balance.
Mm-hmm. So for us listening, the takeaway is that even seemingly small, unnoticed actions have a ripple effect that we might eventually encounter. It's not just the big stuff.
Exactly. It's not just the big, obvious decisions. The subtle energies matter too.
That makes so much sense. And the source material even uses this beautiful image, a vast ancient library filled with books representing all our life moments.
Mm-hmm.
And our actions are like these contracts written within them. It paints a picture of these energetic ripples returning as a way of bringing those contracts to completion, sort of.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture of your own life, the listener's life, it can illuminate why you might find yourself in certain repeating patterns.
Ah, okay.
These energetic imprints, these contracts, as the analogy puts it, they have a natural tendency to seek resolution. It's not about a debt collector knocking on your door,
Right, not literally.
It's more about an inherent pull towards balance,
Yeah.
an energetic rebalancing.
And that directly speaks to those times when we feel inexplicably stuck, doesn't it? Those negative patterns, maybe in relationships or finances or just our own well-being, that seem so hard to break free from. The source suggests these could be the echoes.
Yeah.
The echoes of these unresolved karmic debts.
Yeah, and this raises an important question for anyone listening. Are there areas in your life where you feel like you're constantly facing the same hurdles?
Mm-hmm.
These recurring struggles could very well be manifestations of these energetic patterns seeking resolution. It's worth gently considering.
I was really struck by the analogy of planting seeds. It's so simple but effective.
It is, isn't it?
A well-tended seed grows into something fruitful, while a neglected or poisoned one yields something harmful. It makes this abstract idea of karma feel much more tangible. Our actions are the seeds.
And the consequences are the kind of forest we end up living in. What's powerful about this image, I think, is the sense of your own agency it gives you.
Right.
You are constantly planting seeds through your thoughts, your words, your deeds. The current state of your forest, so to speak, is a direct reflection of the seeds you've sown, whether you are aware of it or not.
And it's not just ancient wisdom that points to this, is it? I found it fascinating how the source draws a parallel to modern psychology,
Yes.
highlighting how our subconscious programs and reinforced neural pathways can lead to these very same repetitive patterns.
Absolutely.
Whether it's attracting certain types of relationships or falling into familiar habits we wish we could break.
Precisely. If we connect this to how your mind works, from a psychological perspective, your repeated actions, often driven by underlying beliefs and emotions, they do create these deeply ingrained neural pathways.
Yeah.
And these pathways then predispose you to react in certain ways, often perpetuating the very patterns you wish to escape. So whether we call it karmic imprints or subconscious programs, The underlying mechanism of repetition and reinforcement kind of holds true, doesn't it?
It's fascinating how these different perspectives seem to converge. And the source also emphasizes that karma isn't just individual, there's a collective energy at play.
That's crucial.
The story of Angulimala, the bandit who became a monk, it really highlights that even significant karmic burdens can be transformed through awareness and real effort.
Yes, what's so compelling about Angulimala's story is that it demonstrates the immense transformative power of intention and action.
Right.
Even deeply ingrained negative patterns can be redirected. It underscores that karma is not some fixed sentence, but a dynamic process. It's influenced by your present choices and your willingness to change.
This really makes you think about your own life, doesn't it? The source prompts us to reflect on those recurring struggles. Maybe financial instability, relationship issues, suggesting these could be signals of unpaid karmic debts. It even gives examples like past financial harm potentially leading to current financial obstacles, or maybe past betrayals manifesting as current trust issues, things like that.
And this raises another important question for self-reflection. What patterns in your life feel most persistent? What are the recurring themes or challenges you've encountered?
Yeah.
Reflecting on these areas, but without judgment, that can offer valuable insights into the energetic dynamics at play.
And the crucial first step, the source says, is simply recognizing these patterns. It's about bringing awareness to these invisible debts, so to speak.
Absolute awareness is the key. It's the key that unlocks the door to change for you, for anyone. Without recognizing the patterns and their potential origins, you just remain caught in the cycle.
Right.
It's like trying to find your way in the dark. Understanding is the first glimmer of light.
The source encourages this self-reflection with a really powerful question. What seeds have I planted in my life? And it emphasizes understanding over harsh judgment, which I think is so important for us to remember. We can be so hard on ourselves.
That element of non-judgmental self-inquiry is crucial. It truly is. It's about honest assessment, not self-recrimination. The goal is simply to understand the nature of your actions and their consequences, paving the way for more conscious choices moving forward.
I really like the analogy used later on, comparing karma purification to cleaning a polluted river. It needs consistent effort, right? Small acts of kindness, positive actions, they gradually cleanse it.
Yes, and what's significant in that analogy is, again, your agency. You are not just a passive recipient of your karma, you actively participate in its unfolding. Just as small acts of pollution contribute to a dirty river, your small acts of kindness contribute to purifying that energetic stream in your life. It accumulates.
And the source reiterates that karma is fluid, it's not some fixed fate, and that your present choices have the power to reshape your future. That's such an empowering message.
It truly is. It underscores that while the past has its influence, of course it does not dictate your destiny. Every moment presents an opportunity to plant new seeds, to make different choices that will shape a different future.
This first part ends with these really thought-provoking questions for the listener. Am I ready to take responsibility for my actions? Am I willing to rewrite my story? And there's this underlying assurance that the universe itself seeks harmony. It leaves you with a real sense of agency, I felt.
Those are powerful prompts for introspection, aren't they? Taking responsibility isn't about assigning blame, as we said, but about acknowledging your role in creating your experiences.
Right.
And that willingness to rewrite your story, well, that signifies your openness to growth and change, aligning yourself with that universal principle of harmony.
Moving into the next part, we delve deeper into this interconnectedness. There's this idea of karma as interwoven threads forming this grand tapestry of life, where tangles and knots represent karmic debt, but as an invitation, not a punishment, but an invitation to mend. I find that imagery so helpful.
It's a beautiful and, I think, accurate metaphor for the intricate and interconnected nature of our experiences. Each action, each interaction is a thread in this grand tapestry of your life. And the knots, they represent areas where the threads have become entangled, often due to unresolved past actions or intentions.
And here we encounter the Buddhist concept of dependent origination, pratityasamutpada, the idea that nothing occurs in isolation. Our actions don't just affect us, they ripple outwards, influencing everything.
Yes, and what's crucial to understand here is the profound sense of interconnectedness it highlights. Your actions aren't isolated events. They are deeply intertwined with the experiences of others and the unfolding of reality itself. Understanding this can foster a greater sense of responsibility, can it?
Definitely. And awareness in our daily choices. The story of Devadatta was quite striking too. Even with his negative actions, he's seen as part of this larger interconnected pattern with the potential for eventual redemption. It suggests even the darker threads have a place in the overall tapestry.
It speaks to the complexity of the karmic web we're all part of. Even actions that cause harm contribute to the larger dance of cause and effect. And within that complexity lies potential for learning, for growth, and ultimately for redemption for everyone involved. It's a very non-dual perspective.
It's interesting how the source then connects this ancient wisdom to a modern psychological concept, transgenerational trauma.
Right.
The idea that we can inherit the consequences of shared behaviors from our families, even our societies, things like systemic inequalities or internalized guilt. It really broadens the scope beyond just our individual actions in this lifetime.
Yes, if we connect this to the bigger picture of your lineage and societal structures, it suggests you inherit not only, say, genetic predispositions, but also the energetic residues of your ancestors' experiences and actions. Recognizing these inherited patterns can be a powerful step towards breaking free from cycles of suffering that might extend beyond your individual lifetime.
And the source introduces mindfulness as a key tool for unraveling these complex karmic knots, encouraging this non-judgmental observation of our own thoughts, emotions, actions.
And this raises an important question for daily life.
Yeah.
How often do you truly pay attention to your inner world without immediately judging or reacting?
Probably not often enough.
Well, mindfulness provides that space for observation. It allows you to become aware of the subtle impulses and patterns that drive your actions and contribute to your karmic experiences. And the crucial insight here is that by simply observing without judgment, you create a gap, a space where you're no longer automatically driven by old karmic patterns. You have a choice point.
It explains how this increased awareness of our daily choices allows us to intentionally redirect our energy toward more positive outcomes. The example given is so practical. Pausing during an angry reaction to a coworker's criticism and asking yourself, what seed am I planting right now? Choosing compassion over retaliation. It's so powerful and immediately applicable.
That simple pause, that moment of conscious inquiry, it's a pivotal point. It allows you to step out of habitual reactions and make a more deliberate choice. You can shift the trajectory of your karmic unfolding in that very moment.
I really appreciate the analogy of kintsugi that was used, the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with gold,
Oh yes, beautiful.
illustrating how we can embrace our imperfections, our past mistakes, and turn them into opportunities for growth through this practice of mindfulness. It's such a beautiful way to reframe our scars, isn't it?
What's significant there is this shift in perspective. Instead of hiding or being ashamed of imperfections and past mistakes, kintsugi celebrates them as integral parts of a unique story. It even strengthens the object.
Right.
Mindfulness allows you to approach your own karmic breaks with that same acceptance, recognizing the potential for beauty and strength.
Then there's metta, loving kindness meditation, presented as another powerful method for addressing karmic debt. By intentionally directing unconditional love and goodwill outward, it can soften negative karma and dissolve those barriers between us.
Yes, if we think about human connection and suffering, the energy of loving kindness is a potent antidote to the negative energies that often fuel karmic imbalances. By cultivating this compassionate intention towards yourself and others, you begin to dissolve the walls of separation and negativity that contribute to suffering.
The analogy of a weed-overrun garden being fertilized by metta. I liked that. Allowing healthy plants positive outcomes to thrive. It's about actively nurturing the positive, not just constantly fighting the negative.
Precisely. Instead of solely focusing on eradicating the weeds of negative karma in your life, metta enriches the soil of your heart. It fosters the growth of positive qualities and their corresponding beneficial outcomes.
The source also highlights that addressing karmic debt requires tangible action in the world. It introduces service as a way to generate positive merit, helping to offset negative karma, like making positive deposits in our metaphorical karmic bank account.
Right. And this raises a question for how you engage with the world. How do you actively engage in acts of service, no matter how small? Think of it metaphorically, as you said. Positive actions, service, kindness are deposits of positive energy. They can help balance out past negative withdrawals or impacts. And it doesn't have to be grand gestures. Even small acts of kindness and generosity contribute to this energetic rebalancing.
The personal story shared in the material about overcoming financial hardship through volunteering and teaching meditation really brings that point home. It illustrates the rebalancing of a karmic ledger in a very real, relatable way.
What's powerful about that example is how shifting focus from personal lack to selfless giving can create unexpected positive shifts in other areas of life.
Yeah,
It underscores the interconnectedness, doesn't
it
it?
really does.
And the potential for positive feedback loops in the karmic process.
And then there's forgiveness, presented as this crucial aspect of karmic resolution, emphasizing that holding on to grudges really binds us to negative energies. It's so clearly pointed out that forgiveness is ultimately for ourselves, freeing us from that burden, not about excusing harmful behavior from others.
This is such a profound insight for our own well-being. Forgiveness isn't about condoning actions, but about releasing the emotional and energetic burden that you carry as a result of those actions. It's fundamentally an act of self-liberation.
The suggestion to start with forgiving minor offenses and then gradually working towards deeper wounds feels very practical and compassionate. It acknowledges that forgiveness can be a long, sometimes difficult process.
It's about cultivating a capacity for letting go, isn't it?
Yeah.
Starting with smaller instances helps build the resilience and compassion within yourself needed to eventually address deeper wounds. It's a gradual unfolding of the heart.
So this part concludes by summarizing these really powerful tools for rewriting our own karmic script. Mindfulness, loving kindness, service, and forgiveness, ultimately leading us towards a narrative of greater grace and resilience. It feels like a very practical toolkit.
Indeed. These are the essential elements for consciously engaging with your karma, not as a passive recipient, but as an active participant in shaping your experiences and fostering healing in your own life and in the world around you.
Then the third part transitions into the transformative power that can be found within our karmic challenges, suggesting that these very struggles can become gateways to profound growth, a crucible for positive change. It reframes the whole idea of debt in a really interesting, hopeful way.
What's truly insightful there is the shift in perspective. From viewing challenges as insurmountable obstacles to recognizing them as potential opportunities for profound learning and transformation. The crucible metaphor is apt. Intense heat and pressure can purify and strengthen.
Here we encounter the Buddhist concept of nirmanakaya, the physical manifestation of enlightenment, illustrating that even really difficult circumstances can ultimately lead to a form of awakening.
Yes, connecting this to spiritual growth, it suggests the path to awakening isn't necessarily easy or comfortable. It often involves directly confronting and transmuting your deepest challenges and karmic patterns. The difficulties you face can become the very fuel for your spiritual evolution.
The story of Milarepa is such a powerful example of this, isn't it? Transforming his incredibly violent past through dedicated meditation and purification. It shows that truly no karmic debt is insurmountable. It offers so much hope.
Milarepa's life story really stands as a testament to the incredible capacity for human transformation that resides within all of us. It underscores that even the heaviest burdens of past actions can be purified through sincere effort, unwavering dedication, and consistent practice.
This really encourages us as listeners to reframe our own recurring challenges, whether health issues, financial struggles, persistent relationship patterns, not as punishment, but as potential lessons. Lessons we're meant to learn from. It's a complete shift in perception.
This raises a crucial question for your own journey. Can you identify a recurring challenge in your life right now? And can you begin to see it not as a personal failing or some cruel twist of fate,
Yeah.
but as a unique opportunity for profound learning and significant growth?
The source highlights failure itself as this fertile ground for growth from a Buddhist perspective, which aligns so well with Carol Dweck's concept of a growth mindset and the encouragement to consciously shift our internal question from why is this always happening to me to what am I truly meant to learn from this experience that feels so insightful and empowering.
That simple shift in inquiry can be incredibly empowering. It moves you from a passive state of victimhood, maybe, to a place of active engagement with your experiences, consciously seeking the inherent wisdom often embedded within them.
Then we learn about the Tibetan meditation practice of Tonglen, this beautiful practice of breathing in suffering others and our own, and breathing out compassion and relief. It's described as a powerful technique to help break the cycle of retribution, creating space for healing within ourselves and the world. The analogy used of calming a stormy ocean is so evocative.
What's truly transformative about Tonglen, I think, is its radical inclusivity. Instead of instinctively shielding yourself from suffering, you consciously embrace it, transforming it into compassion for yourself and for all others experiencing similar pain. It directly challenges the ego's tendency to resist pain, fostering deep interconnectedness.
Emphasizing the cultivation of gratitude in our daily lives, that felt like such a practical tool, a potent antidote to negative karma, intentionally shifting focus from lack to abundance, generating positive merit.
Absolutely. Gratitude is a remarkably powerful force. It immediately shifts your energetic focus from what you perceive as lacking to the abundance already present. It creates a positive feedback loop, attracting more well-being.
And then a core Buddhist concept of impermanence, Annika, introduced as key to releasing the tight grip of karmic debts, reminding us that nothing, including struggles, is permanent. The metaphor of a river adapting to the land's contours beautifully illustrates embracing impermanence, navigating challenges with more grace.
Yes, connecting this to the ever-changing nature of reality. Recognizing the inherent impermanence of all things, including your current challenges, allows you to loosen your attachment to them.
Right.
This detachment doesn't mean passivity, but engaging with difficulties with greater perspective and less resistance, allowing for more graceful and effective navigation.
The practical exercise suggested creating two simple columns, challenges and lessons, feels like such a concrete way to start reframing difficulties, seeing them not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for self-mastery. I think listeners can really use that.
It's a simple yet profoundly effective tool. It intentionally shifts your cognitive and emotional framework around challenges, actively prompting you to seek the valuable wisdom and growth opportunities they offer.
Finally, the discussion gently moves towards the ultimate goal in many spiritual traditions: liberation, moksha, freedom from the cycle of suffering, emphasizing that resolving karmic debts brings us closer to that freedom. The powerful reminder that we are not defined solely by past actions, but are the active architects of our own destiny. That's such an empowering message to take heart.
Ultimately, the journey of consciously resolving your karmic patterns is a deeply personal journey towards greater inner freedom and profound understanding. By taking responsibility, working towards healing and a positive change, you progressively move closer to transcending past limitations and consciously shaping the future you desire.
This deep dive really concludes by powerfully reinforcing the idea that karmic debt isn't a life sentence, but a significant catalyst for profound growth, urging us to embrace challenges with open hearts, use the tools we've discussed, to transform our metaphorical ledger from one of perceived liability into a truly rich legacy. Trusting in our innate ability to turn what we might see as debt into something golden, it's a really hopeful ending.
It beautifully underscores the immense transformative potential present within facing challenges with mindful awareness, clear intention, and the right tools. The ancient alchemical process of turning base metals into gold serves as a potent metaphor for the extraordinary potential for growth and wisdom within all our karmic experiences.
Thank you so much for joining us today on this deep dive into the often misunderstood world of karmic debts. We sincerely hope this exploration has offered you some valuable new perspectives on the recurring patterns in your own life, and maybe provided some practical tools for navigating them with greater understanding, intention, and a renewed sense of hope.
May you continue to gently reflect on these profound concepts and personally discover the remarkable transformative power that resides deep within your own unique life journey.
And on that deeply reflective note, we warmly encourage you to truly consider the profound transformative potential that gently awaits you within the courageous act of honestly facing your past actions with both courage and a sincere willingness to learn. Understanding these often subtle karmic patterns can indeed open up entirely new pathways for significant personal growth, enhanced well-being, and a more profound sense of inner peace. Until our next deep dive together.